Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Alex Harshman with Wholesale to Freedom. For those who don't know, this channel is all about my life, business, real estate, and everything in between. By subscribing to this channel, not only are you going to get the latest tips and tricks on how to wholesale real estate, both virtually and locally, but you'll learn the process and in and outs of how I did over 50 plus deals in my short 3 years of being in real estate. So don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. That way you get notified of any time I produce any of these videos, as well as when I go live. And today we're going to be talking about the 3 things you should never do as a wholesaler, whether you're doing it virtually or locally. So first up, don't ever tell the seller that you're a wholesaler. I don't know how many times I get this question, hey Alex, should I tell the seller that I'm a wholesaler? Or even your buyer for that matter. If you're just getting started in this game, don't tell anybody that you're a wholesaler. Unless you're JVing with somebody or partnering with them, then obviously at that point you want to be transparent. But here's how I relay it to the seller. If they ask me if I'm a wholesaler, I just say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that's a great question. We actually look to purchase the property first when we make the offer. But we do have other options, to make it work at the number that we agree upon. So if it comes down to it, that is a strategy we can use. But again, we look to purchase the property first. Why you want to do that is because what happens is if you tell them you're a wholesaler, first off, wholesaling has gotten a terrible name over the past couple of years, because you got a lot of people who are diving into the game and don't have any idea what they're doing. And if that's you, that's okay, but don't go out there telling people that you're a wholesaler. There's a lot of social medias going on, a lot of famous people saying, hey, wholesaling is easy, and a lot of people are eating it up, going out there and leaving the sellers in a bad position, losing their house in some cases, or just not communicating with them. And for that reason, wholesaling has gotten a bad name and a bad rap. So in my opinion, you should never tell the seller that you're a wholesaler. And again, I don't even tell my buyers that I'm a wholesaler for that very reason. Let's talk about the second thing that you should never do. The second thing you should never do is never tell your buyer what your assignment fee is. The reason why this is important is because the buyer is asking that question because they want to leverage that number in the negotiation, because if you're making a good chunk of change, they're going to try to negotiate you down because they know they have room to wiggle. Instead, here's what you're going to do, and repeat after me or write this down. Listen, my partner would kill me if I said that or mentioned that number. What you can say is, hey, listen, my partner would kill me if I revealed that information, but what I can tell you is the purchase price as well as the assignment fee are both included in the advertised price that we've given you. So there's no extra fees, no extra costs, anything like that. It's just that price plus closing costs. And if you really want to know that number after you dropped off the non-refundable deposit and signed the assignment agreement, at that point we can reveal that information to you. I don't like to give that information. They're going to try to be your best friend, say, oh, don't worry about it. I do this all the time, and they tell me what the assignment is. I don't care. Don't trust them. Protect your best interest and your interest in the property, because not only are you going to know how much you're making, but they're going to know how much you have it at contract for. So they could go behind you and make an offer to the seller and try to get that deal swiped out from under you. I've had this happen many times, and actually my very first wholesale deals, my first 3 wholesale deals, I did this mistake, and I lost over $30,000 in potential profit because I told the buyer our assignment, and of course he took advantage of us. Let's talk about number 3, guaranteeing the seller that you're going to buy their house. You should never, ever guarantee anything that you have no idea if you can perform. Even if you do know you can perform, anything can happen in this industry. Trust me, coronavirus happened last year and a lot of deals fell through, and a lot of people know exactly what I'm talking about. Stuff that's outside your control can happen. And for that reason, it's never good to promise to the seller that you're going to deliver and over-deliver, because what you want to do is, in sales and just like anything else, is under-promise, over-deliver. What you're doing is you're setting the expectations low or setting the expectations up front, and then if you go above and beyond, the person's that much more happy. So if the seller comes to me and says, hey Alex, this is a done deal, right? I don't tell them, hey, this is a done deal, we're gonna get this thing done no matter what. What I do tell them is I say, hey, listen, we're doing our next step, which is the research phase. We're gonna go and look at the property and do all the necessary steps to make sure that we're buying exactly what you and I had talked about over the phone, and to make sure that everything is good and sound. Because the way I do things is I actually lock the property up over the phone. I never actually go out to the property. Well, I mean, I'm doing this virtually, so I'm doing this several states away. It's 14 plus hours driving time. So it doesn't make sense for me to drive out there each time I get a property, and I just lock it up over the phone. Even when I do it locally, I do the same thing. So instead of wasting time and going out there, I just do it virtually. If you'd like to check out how I do that, I have a whole playlist of deal series I'll put down below. I break down most of the deals that I've done, and I know there's gonna be a lot of value in those for those who are interested. But again, I can't stress this enough. Don't ever, ever, ever promise the seller you're gonna deliver. If anything happens, be transparent with them, be informed and communicative with them, and don't ever let the seller hanging. Even if you can't get the deal done, bite the bullet, call them up, let them know. So those are the top 3 tips I can give you that I think off the top of my head are the best ones, that it costs me the most money. And I think that will help you guys, and I know that will help you guys in your business, because nobody had taught me these things, and I'm glad I was able to share that with you. So not only can we help the wholesaling industry by not getting a lot of people going in there over-promising, not delivering on their promise, and then also losing money because their buyers are taking advantage of them. If you found any value out of that video, be sure to like it. Again, smash that thumbs up, as it does help the YouTube algorithm. Really makes me smile as well. So I really appreciate you all watching this, taking the time to watch it. Don't forget to check out that playlist where I talk about the different deals that I've done, and I break them down step by step. If you have any questions or have any topics you want to see me talk about, or if you just want to tell me what your favorite color is, put that down in the description below, and I will respond to each comment personally. So once again, I appreciate your time. Take care, do your hair.